suffer because he cheated on me, asked for me to have threesomes with him, and I refused. So I'm suffering because I said no to a threesome as a married woman.
4 years marriage ended in tears, regret, sorrow. Welcome to the moment of truth.
My private parts are old, and that is why he is sleeping with young girls. But for me to date somebody else now, it hurts.
Can you imagine that was coming from a pastor? And she's also a prophetess. They started a church together. He had nothing when she met him, and she made him, by the grace of God, what he is today. And this is what she's getting in return.
Abuse, the breakdown, being told that I'm fat, I'm not good looking anymore, and since I've had a baby, I'm not good looking anymore. I've left myself. The emotional abuse, I couldn't sit there and take that anymore. If I had cheated on my husband, why is it that throughout last year he spent time apologizing to me? If somebody has cheated on you, you are not going to be the one that apologizes, right? But I will applaud because they want.
He expected the woman that had a child to still be the same. No, the body changes after you have a baby or you have children. Your body changes. And this man is about time they understand all this.
I'm going to leave. And when I decided that I was going to leave, and with my baby, they gathered in the office and said they are forming a committee that was going to break me. They took girls that were there at the beginning of my marriage in the church, who initially were dating my husband before I got to the church. They brought them back to the church so that they could fight me. I was supposed to stay in that marriage and do what? Accept all the other women and everything that was happening. I was supposed to accept it. I was supposed to sit and accept it. I prayed about it. It didn't change. It didn't change. I was the perfect good wife sitting there and taking it. It didn't change. But I was not going to sit there.
Is pastor supposed to be dating someone, sleeping around? Is pastor supposed to be asking his wife to do threesome with his former girlfriend? This is what we are getting in the church of nowadays.
And my ex-husband has put me through hell. Years of making him rich. Go check his Facebook and see if before me he ever had a cent. I found him with nothing. He's rich. Left me with 2,500 as maintenance for the child. Called one of his pastors for them to sell my car, and they did. So when they saw me back preaching, they were irritated. The first thing that they did was to try and cancel my revivals, and his ex-girlfriends, they would go and try and cancel my revivals, and that didn't. Never, ever cheated on my husband.
This is very sad. No woman should go through this. But my advice to this prophetess, to go and look for Christ. You need God in your life. You guys, you need to do the gospel right. What we are having in the church today is not gospel. It's not gospel. It's just another gospel. Everything is just about money and for money. And that's why Satan is having the upper hands everywhere. I pray that God will hear you. See the way she sobbed in front of camera is very painful. Divorce is not an easy thing. Pastor Anita is still struggling till today. It's not a good thing at all. The next video is going to be about Pastor Anita and Pastor Chris Oyakilome, and I'm going to say a few things I knew about Pastor Anita, because I started Christ Embassy from Pastor Anita's branch in Docklands in the United Kingdom, and I knew She's a genuine woman of God. And her story, that's why I'm joining both together, because these woman's stories actually tally with Pastor Anisa's stories. Because when Pastor Anita, as you know, her mom was a Swiss lady, her father from Benin. So she traveled to Nigeria to study in Uniben. That's where she met Pastor Oyakilome. Pastor Chris already have a girlfriend, which is Yemisi Ikudoyinbo, sorry. But because of the privilege, because of the success, everything around Pastor Anita, he chooses to go with Pastor Anita, because Pastor Anita has a European passport. She's half Nigerian and half Swiss. Her father was a banker. So, because of all the successes around her, he chose to go with Pastor Anita, not because of love. And once you started something from deception, when the foundation of something is deception, like this prophetess, they start everything. The man chooses her because of what he can gain from her. That's why he could not let go the former girlfriend. The same thing with Pastor Anita. Pastor Chris, he didn't let go Yemisi Kudoyibo. All of you know who Yemisi Kudoyibo is in the ministry till today. So, and the part of blame that we apportioned to Pastor Anita was that when she started moving with them, she saw all these evil things going on and all that. But maybe because she was young, because anybody can make that mistake, I'm not going to be part of it. I will hold on to Christ, the Christ I know, the genuine Christ I know. And that's what she did. But that is not enough. She tried that, but it doesn't work. Because in her branch, she opposed them charging for Rhapsody of Reality. You don't charge. Or only when she's not there. All these protocols, the ushers, they be charging. But she put the rules there, and they call her rebel. She's rebel. She's this. She's the one that opened all the branches in United Kingdom, in Europe, and everywhere. She opened everything. She works and everything. But what did she get in return? Nothing. Nothing. The divorce was so painful. Was so painful. They just used that. It was so painful that when they announced the divorce and all the pastor was questioning Pastor Chris Oyakilome, they had a meeting. They had a meeting at Pastor Uche's church in Oak Kent Road. Some of the pastors walked away. The way Pastor Chris was talking about Pastor Anita in front of her daughter, pulling her down, calling her all sorts of names. And many of those pastors, Pastor Anita actually raised them, like Pastor Uche. Anita raised Uche, make Uche who Uche is here today. And Pastor Adewale, and many of them, but all of them, they betray her. They betray her. That's why I know this Chris Oyakilome is a cut. It's a cut. It was so difficult for Pastor Anita. Before he can make the decision to chicken out, she was drying. She was drying because she was dying spiritually. She faces a lot of humiliation that I cannot even discuss here. So nobody should go through all these things. And that tells me that these men, they are not of God. Because you cannot be of God and be treating a woman being like this. Someone that helped you and be deceptive like this, lying here and there. All you care about is about yourself. Bible has no meaning to them. The word of God has no meaning to them. Their obedience, and they be going around correcting people. The hypocrisy of this pastor, that's what we are saying now. I hope you get something. Pastor Anita has moved on. She didn't attend her own daughter's wedding. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's what divorce caused. The children suffered. Now they have the child. The first one is backing the father up. The second one is backing the mother up. Is it supposed to be like that? And that's why Chris should step down. He should shut up and stop spreading all this nonsense he's spreading. It's not fit to be a man of God. A man that cannot control his own home, that cannot keep his own home, is not fit to be a leader. Thank you, and I see you on my next video. Bye for now.
Misled by the false rumors or